Hello Capricorn, and welcome to your in-depth monthly forecast for February 2023 for the Sun or the Ascendant. As ever, I'm going to give you some standout features to look out for, but please stay with me. I will dive deep to give you in forensic detail all the key dates and influences particularly relevant to your Sun. Now, of course, you're governed by Saturn. Saturn gives us structure and it gets quite a lot of bad astral press. But of course, over the last couple of years, it has been impacting on the part of your situation to do with your self-worth, your everyday finances, and just the general foundations of your existence. Now, if you've worked with this energy, the great thing about this month is you can see just how much progress you've made. And because you have an affinity with Saturn and your natural personality and approach to situations is often about application and perspiration in conjunction with inspiration, you are a hard worker very often. So if you have really had to be much more disciplined or careful with resources over that period of time, it wouldn't be a surprise. But I am going to share with you some very important pieces of information about that. But also, of course, as we begin this month, Mercury and Pluto are still in the sign of Capricorn, and they are actually going to come together between the 8th and the 12th. So I'll explain the significance of that. But Venus, the planet of love and affection, is in a part of your situation to do with everyday communications. So your contact with neighbours, siblings, and people in that everyday world can be important this month. We have a full moon on the 5th, a new moon on the 20th, and a very inspirational link between Venus and Jupiter right at the end of the month. So please stay with me for all of that. If you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for all your views. If you're new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. If you click or tap on the bell notification symbol, every time I drop a video, you'll get that alert from YouTube and just helps you to keep more closely in touch with what's evolving on my channel. However, if you've yet to order your year 2023 personal forecast, so you can rise above this zodiac broadcast, if you give me 3 pieces of personal birth data of time, date, and place of birth, I can give you your forecast for the next year, and also your life roadmap in my special package of 30% off, which helps you to understand some of the deeper patterns that have come up for you, good and bad, and help you to become more intimate with how to deal with these and how to gain traction from working with your strengths more closely. Also, in my special package, you can get your zodiac forecast for the year, your Chinese and Indian forecast too. Please see the link beneath this video. So Capricorn, your February begins with the Sun and Saturn, your ruler, in the sign of Aquarius. But of course, Aquarius shares the rulership of its sign traditionally with you, Saturn. But the other part of Aquarius is the duality that comes through the rather novel and erratic energies of Uranus, the modern ruler of the sign. So in a way, you have a simpatico to a degree with the continuity that Aquarians like, but Aquarians also like to be very progressive as well. And that might at times be something you find yourself a little bit resistant to, because we all gain comfort from familiarity. But on the first 2 days of this month, the Sun's forging an action angle to Mars. Now, of course, Mars went through that extended retrograde from the 30th of October through to the 12th of January, but also was in a really bogged down, draining link with Neptune all through October, November, and the first week of December. And this aspect gives you an opportunity to really punch through and gain traction if you did feel that you were very sort of weighed down and very blocked from achieving what you wanted to achieve across the last quarter of the year. So if there's something that's important to you, you can take some really direct action right at the start of this month. But on the 5th, there is a full moon. Now, the axes that it goes across is the 2nd house with the sun in Aquarius and the 8th house, which is Leo, and that's longer term finances, but also where we're most invested. Can be to do with more spiritual evolution and, of course, ends and beginnings. And I think basically because Uranus is interacting with these two, it's just saying don't go against your natural instincts as someone who likes to very thoroughly check out any financial situation with a great deal of due diligence. Don't be rushed by anyone in the following 2 weeks to make a hasty decision. That person could even be someone close to you that, you know, is wanting you to support them in some kind of way, but the demand could come quite suddenly, or someone may flag an opportunity that you need to make a quick decision on. But just proceed with your normal care and thoroughness. But from the 8th to the 12th, as I mentioned before, Mercury is aligning with Pluto in your sign. Do you know, if you need to explain something to somebody, you'll be able to be very precise in the way you present the information, quite pointed actually, but also show a lot of passion for your ideas. On the 11th, however, Mercury makes an ingress into Aquarius, joining up with the Sun and your ruler Saturn. So Mercury moving into the 2nd house suggests there's going to be more conversations about resources. And, you know, if you are trying to get something moving from a business viewpoint, then this can help you to move forwards. But on Valentine's Day, if you are going out on a date, whether it's with a long-term partner or somebody new, the Sun's very close to Saturn. And this suggests, therefore, that you're going to want to enjoy the creature comfort side of life. So, you know, if you go to somewhere where the food is particularly good value, but very good quality, and, you know, you can really enjoy some calorific goodies, that will certainly add to the experience. But in week 3, the Sun's alliance to Saturn is when you can really start to assess what these last 2.5 years has really meant to you. I think there probably has been times when your sense of self did feel under a pressure, maybe from your own opinion, your own mindset, your own way of viewing yourself, or perhaps it has just been in the very practical dimension of everyday finances. That's not been helped at all for any of us by all the costs that have gone up in the last 12 months, but for you it's something deeper. And I feel that on the 18th, when the Sun speeds up and moves into Pisces, then the Moon aligns with Pluto in your sign. And this is going to give you a very singular way of expressing yourself. And the Sun moving into your 3rd house, everyday communication, joining up initially with Venus and Neptune, and the combination between the Moon and Pluto in your sign suggests your feelings will be close to the surface, but if you have to say how you feel, perhaps something that you've been thinking carefully about over the previous couple of weeks, you can say it with conviction, but also with a degree of decorum as well, with Venus still in that place. But on the 20th, we have a new moon, and Saturn, your ruler, is getting right to the end of Aquarius, and therefore its cold and rather limiting energy does move onto the 3rd house. So you could find the temperature dropping a little bit around certain relationships, but Venus moves on the same day into Aries, and that's very much to do with your home. If you're someone who takes great pride, which wouldn't be a surprise in your home environment, you may find yourself wanting to get some new home furnishings or doing some decoration, or if you're in the southern hemisphere, working more on your outdoor space. But that combination between the new moon and Saturn is really telling, because new moons give us a chance to set our intentions. The 3rd house can be about our thoughts, it can be about our belief systems to a degree, and it can be about everyday conversation, but it also, of course, can influence things like technology. So with Saturn in the mix, even accidentally, someone may feel that you're saying how you feel in rather an abrupt, direct, harsh, cold manner in the following month. So choosing your words carefully will be important. But there could be some really good news in the family as the month draws to a close. Venus and the Sun are in a semi-sextile, which is very enabling. But also the conjunction between Venus and Jupiter in the last 2 days of the month sees the two planets of fortune in direct contact. And something to do with a property matter, or to do with someone in the family being very generous towards you, or perhaps, it's a flutter that you have with people close to you. But whatever is going on in your everyday world that maybe is a bit challenging because of Saturn's influence on that new moon, I feel there's going to be other people who are really around you, supporting you, and those deeper, closer ties, or your extended family, or any changes you're making to your home, and what's going to see you feeling that you're lucky with what you've got, even if there may be some problems with some technology or a mode of transport could play up as this month draws to a close. But something heartwarming can break for you as the month winds down, which can give you a significant boost. Thank you so much for joining me. Please feel that you can comment. I try to answer virtually all of them. Sub or like this video. Thank you and goodbye.